Hi, welcome to We Use Our Powers for Good. I'm Dory, this is Meg, but by now you know who we are. Today we're going to be talking about co-regulation. So we're going to explain what that means. I'm going to read a little definition and then we're going to talk about it. It's like we sat right here. Can you see the snow? You can see the snow a little bit. We're sitting in front of the window at work. It's snowing and get the little holiday lights on. So it just feels Meg,
So
a little
cute.
Vanna White here. It feels very festive. Okay. I'm gonna share a definition. I gotta put my glasses on so I can read. All right. What is co-regulation? Good Lord. Okay. Co-regulation is the shared experience of settling the nervous system together. It's what happens when one regulated person helps another person feel steadier through their presence, through their breath, through their touch, tone, and timing. Before we can regulate ourselves, we learn regulation with others. So, what does that mean? It means in a perfect world that nobody lives in a perfect world, we first learn regulation with our parents. If our parents were able to steady and feel present and calm, which we could sit and talk about that.
Right.
We'll come back to that. Whoa. If our parents had those skills, we then would learn those skills from them. So that would be the first person that we learn that through. But let me read a little bit more. So like who cares?
That also sounds like a lovely gift.
I mean, right? So why does this matter? When co-regulation is present, we feel safer, more connected and less reactive. Transitions feel smoother, small moments don't escalate, and we can stay present instead of bracing or performing. So when co-regulation is missing or dysregulated, everyone gets activated or we get into our old patterns and they show up quicker. Little comments feel big and we either shut down or overfunction to try and hold it all together. So we're bringing this up right now because holidays don't create dysregulation, they reveal what's already there. So our intention was to talk about this and then talk about how you could use this over the holidays. At a minimum, we're just going to talk about what this means. And so I'll give you an example. Or do you want to start with an example?
Well, of course, I was brought back to why we didn't record 6 weeks ago.
Mm.
Because we went to this event that ended up being this co-regulation nightmare.
Yeah, but same so let's create some context. Excuse me, I have a little tickle. Um Typically when you go to a party or a gathering, you have some awareness of what's happening. You've been told like, hey, it's so and so's birthday and we're gonna celebrate or
Right.
whatever.
What's the intention?
Yeah. And we went to an event at someone's home, someone that we know. And it was meant to be kind of mysterious, which was on their end meant to be kind of exciting and curious. And our end as adults was like,
We all asked in so many different ways, what is this?
right.
Kept asking.
Yep.
I even had an exit plan. I was
Yep.
going to have diarrhea and
And we hadn't even gotten there yet.
right.
And something about whatever was not communicated or what was communicated, we instantly felt not good about it or
Yeah.
something. But the words that we have are we felt dysregulated. Like I couldn't maintain my calm and my centeredness when we thought about going.
Mhm.
And my thing was, well, I know this person well, like we have to go. I said that we would. And so I told Meg there is no exit plan. We're going, which I'm sure that felt good.
I know all of
You,
them.
you have to go.
Nobody puts baby in the corner. It's just happening. Yeah. And then when we showed up, shoes off, and there were a pile of shoes, and then it was
So wait. We were told to take our shoes off, so it felt very Sex in the City and like someone's
yeah,
gonna steal my Manolo Blahniks,
yep,
right? And then
phones in a jar,
no, well, hold on. There was a note that said put your phone in the jar.
right, and then a name tag that no, what was the sign of the jar? It said your emotional attachment in here or something like that.
Something, but it
Something like that, and then there was a name tag, and I just saw it all at once as I'm supposed to put my emotional baggage on the name tag,
mm.
and then it was I don't feel comfortable putting my phone in a jar with everyone else. I'll put it in my pocket, my jacket, and put it in the closet. But I mean, the second I heard about it, I was already like,
Right.
this doesn't feel safe.
So what we're sharing with you is that even just the wording or languaging that we use around an event or a gathering sets the stage for people And when you're intentional and you know about this co-regulation, when you're intentional and you know about it, you can instantly create safety for people and change their experience. And the opposite of that is true.
Right.
By not communicating or under communicating or not being clear, it sets the stage for people to be unsafe. And in most cases, because people don't have this language, they don't have awareness of what's actually happening. They go and just are like in a place of like trying to survive. So then where we were at as an adult, I don't feel dysregulated often in an environment that's meant to be controlled. I certainly can get dysregulated by something ridiculous my kids say or do, or I slip on the ice or something like that. But we're dysregulated or not able to fully regulate. I then can't anchor off her regulation, which is really what co-regulation is that if Meg was steady, I could steady myself against her. I couldn't study against her because she wasn't steady.
I was an ice storm.
And
Slide
then
off me.
what I noticed for the first time ever, because I hadn't been in that awareness, because normally I would just go and have my own experience and enjoy whatever the thing was, because I couldn't fully regulate and I couldn't co-regulate with you. I couldn't co-regulate with the other friends that I had there or the person that was hosting. And I was just really aware then of how triggered everyone was and how many people were shut down. And what does that mean? They were just trying to cope. They're just trying to get into a state or a persona where they could cope with what was happening. Right.
Yeah.
So
There were lots of big motions, big movements. Yeah. And then my low point, which it felt it coming out. It was like, whoa, I'm reverting to all this like childhood garbage,
mm,
which was to tease you.
yeah.
And as it was coming out of my mouth, it was like, why can't I stop this?
But that's a good
And
example.
it just kept coming and came out again and again, the same thing and over. Like I just couldn't stop.
No, so it's an example of and we just read this in the definition. When you don't feel at ease, your childlike poor behavior and coping
Yeah.
comes up and shows itself more readily, and you can't even like stop it. Because I was sitting there thinking as she started, I'm like, what the fuck is she talking? Like, why is she saying that to me? And then I was like, oh,
Yeah.
she's teasing me.
And then my attempt to override it, because afterwards you were like, God, you were like, we were broken up into these small groups and we're asked to talk about our soul, which again, in an environment where you don't feel comfortable, grounded, and safe, to then start talking on a deeply philosophical, it's just like, but I remember just thinking, okay, I'm going to override all of this and just jump in first because the energy was like a fried wire,
Right. No one wanted.
And then you were like, what, you're into this?
Like, what are you doing?
Where's she going? It's like, I'm just trying to take one for the team.
Right. Right. But all this, like, we were inspired to share this and talk about this because we had this experience. And we've talked about this a ton. If you contextualize something and name it, you then can like embrace it and absorb and experience it differently. And my big thing with my work life and my life is using the word co-regulation and helping people understand what it is. Cause kind of like in your job and in my job, our clients wouldn't say this, but like all my clients do is walk in the clinic and they feel at ease. All the clients do is see in their phone that they've got an appointment with you and they instantly just drop into some centeredness. That's co-regulation, right? Now, in Meg's case and in my case, it's super intentional, especially when we're at work, that someone would come in here and feel safe, that someone would come in and be vulnerable so
Yeah.
they could get their needs met. But it's a great place to describe how that works because it allows us to be more effective at our jobs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's intentional and loving. So what I just said is not meant to be manipulating, right?
Right.
But we're also using that example of what happens when you're not aware of that. And when you're not doing that, is people feel out of control. They feel unsafe. They revert to old behaviors that they're not proud of. It doesn't feel good. You want to get out of there.
And obviously the intention was not all of those things, right?
No, it was
like
not.
the core of it, when you think about it, was very lovely and yummy. It was just approached the exact opposite way it should have been.
Well,
Right?
yes. And then like, I'm just going to tweak it slightly, what you said. I think because they didn't have awareness of this and they focused on like the mystery and the experience of it, it actually doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way if everyone doesn't know each other. I think in a family, if like your family was all gathering.
still have a hard time believing that they really thought we'll keep it mysterious.
Yeah, I don't
Because it
know.
had like an eyes wide shut feeling to me. Like,
Sure. Right.
but
I mean, right, right. And really then it's we all have different tools and skills.
Yeah.
Right. Like for me, and I'm in the business of safe, creating a safe environment so
same.
someone can show up and heal.
Same.
It would
It's my mission.
right. It would be on my radar all the time to be thinking about that. So it was startling to us to be in an experience where that wasn't even on their radar.
Yeah.
No, in every way. There were like 12 glasses for 40 people. There was like
Right.
enough food on these little things that I maybe would have had out for my family of 4 plus you and Chad.
Right.
Right.
The circle.
Right. Okay, we're gonna stop.
Yeah. But it is interesting. Come back to it several times. And I've thought about actually in the car this morning. I don't know why, but I've thought about it. If I was ever in that sort of environment again, what can my learned adult self do?
Sure.
And the only thing I can come to is at some point right away, I don't feel grounded and safe in this environment. Like, what if I had said that? What would have happened?
Yeah.
Oh, this gal's got special needs,
Sure.
right?
Well,
Sure.
I feel like
It would be like, oh, me too.
right. Well, but I mean, like people wouldn't have words for that. I would.
Right.
Right.
But like, what could we have done to change that energy?
Here's what we could have done. I will never, ever again make myself go to something that I didn't even want to go to the minute I read the. So this is like the always thing I know. Meg's touching the timer. We're going over our time. I know. Is that our intuition or spidey sense was already going off,
Oh, it
and,
was
I overrode it
Right
because I was supporting someone. And it's a great example of don't do that shit.
don't do that shit.
Don't do that shit. But I want to circle back. The core learning here is co-regulation. In its simplest form, it's anchoring off someone else. Like in our case, we're both regulated. So, and we know that, so then we just exponentiate our joy and fun. If when Meg first came to my work, I can feel like I need to rest and I need a little bit of a break. I've been doing a lot. When she came in, I was co-regulating off her to drop my energy down so that we could do this. Right. But we'll talk more about how you can use that in different ways. But at a minimum, you're just aware of being around certain people feels good. Being around other people, you feel stressed and that doesn't feel good. Co-regulation. Co-regulation is what that's called. So thank you for being with us today.
And in the next one, we're going to talk about how to do that in a group.
No, we're gonna talk about how you do that with your partner and friends and
Okay.
well,
We're going to talk about it with how you do that with some people in your world, but especially for the holidays, right?
right. Oh, right. She is right.
I know.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's the worst.
I'm fresh off a nap.
I know I'm right.
I know.
Thank you for being with us. We will see you next time.
Goodbye.